All right. In Arizona right now, there are about 400,000 people who are without work due to the pandemic. A lot of people curious if a relief bill is coming. What do you say?
Well, it has to come. I mean, it can't wait till January. We have, like you say, 400,000. I think it's 440,000 individuals are trying to get by on $240 a week of unemployment benefits. That's not enough. They're having to make horrible choices about paying rent or buying groceries. That's an impossible decision for so many families. So it's up to the Senate and the House to come to a compromise to get that needed relief there. Also, relief to cities and towns and small businesses. I mean, we can't afford to have 550,000, percentage of them, small businesses in our state closed for good. That's not an option.
I mean, you're there in the Senate right now talking about this very issue. How real is it for you and your colleagues to get to a point where you say, we have to act?
Well, we have to act, and I feel we have to compromise to act. And this shouldn't wait until after Christmas. I mean, it shouldn't even wait another day. Uh, I'm hopeful, but as we know, the Senate often it can be a slow process. But there are ongoing negotiations, and I'm talking to Democrats and Republicans about why this is so important for our state and our country.
You say you're talking to Democrats and Republicans. I know that you have voted on a few things now, mostly down party lines on issues that don't necessarily directly impact Arizona. But what are you using to guide some of these decisions, though it's very early for you?
Well, for me, it's not about politics. It's about what's in the best interest of Arizona and Arizonans, and the best interest of our country, and science and data and facts. So I'm trying to make very informed decisions and understand the specifics about what I'm voting on, and making the decision based on what's in the best interest of our state and our country.
How closely do you work with your colleague, Kirsten Sinema, but also Republicans across the aisle right now?
Well, I've been here a little over a week, and building these relationships on both sides of the aisle, talking to both Democrats and Republicans. I talked to Senator Sinema, you know, uh, rather regularly.
All right, as you know, there were 1.6 million or so Arizonans who did not vote for you. How do you win them over here in the next year or so?
Well, I think the important part of this is not about winning them over right now. That's not my job. My job is to represent them and their families in the best way I possibly can. And my role is to make decisions that benefit them and benefit our state. Uh, the other thing about winning people over, I'll worry about that later. I mean, that's an election, and my job right now is to put the team together and to do the absolute best job I can for our state and for everybody in our state.
In building your team, do you have a fair mix of voices when it comes to metropolitan parts of the state as well as rural Arizona?
Yeah, I do. I mean, I have a outreach director for tribes. We have a northern Arizona presence, and we'll have a northern Arizona office. We have a southern Arizona office that also includes very rural areas of the state. State office that will be in Phoenix, and we're trying to make sure that we have a presence in as much of the state as possible, and we're even looking at some options of a mobile presence, so we can get to all corners of the state and reach everybody.
All right, Senator, this week, of course, there's news that the vaccine could be in the state of Arizona as soon as the next 2 weeks or so. But the state health department here in Arizona has raised some caution that rural Arizona might be left out of the mix early on, only because of the logistics of getting the vaccine to every part of the state. What could you do in the Senate right now to ensure that the distribution will be fair and equitable?
Well, at this point in the COVID-19 relief package that we are negotiating, there is money in there for vaccines and vaccine distribution. And it's going to be up to the state to make sure that that distribution is equitable in metropolitan, but also rural areas. We'll have a priority list. I'm looking forward to speaking with the governor again about this. What's the plan? What's the distribution plan? What are the priorities? But the role of the United States Senate is to make sure that Arizona has the resources. So we're working to make sure that COVID-19 relief package has the funding to make sure that there is a distribution, there are funds for distribution in the states.
Senator Kelly, thank you for your time.
Great. Thank you.